Hey everyone, I'm Swift. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Major League Hacking. Let me be the first to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Batch 2 of the MLH Fellowship. We're so excited to be here today to celebrate all of the amazing accomplishments of the fellows who will be leaving our program as alumni at the end of this ceremony. Before I get started, for those of you who might not be familiar with Major League Hacking, we're an organization specifically focused on empowering our next generation of technologists. We help them learn the skills and technologies that they'll need in their career. We work with the largest community of early career developers worldwide. It literally spans the entire globe. Technologists of all skill levels who are interested in all types of career paths join us to build their professional networks and gain hands-on experience with those technologies. The MLH Fellowship is a last-mile training program where we match developers from our community to real-world projects from employment partners where they learn the skills that they would actually use as software engineers. Engineering best practices like how to use Git and GitHub, how to collaborate, like set up a pull request, review someone else's code, have a one-on-one, all of the types of things that they'll need to actually land a career in software engineering at the end of this program. Now, the 120 or so fellows who will be graduating today spent the last 12 weeks working on a mix of open source and closed source innovation projects, using tools like Python and JavaScript. They've been solving real-world problems that impact thousands of end users. And today, you're going to get a sneak peek at everything they've been up to. Before we get into that, we have a few people that I'd love to thank. First and foremost, I'd love to thank all of the sponsors who made this program possible in the first place. People like Facebook, GitHub, Amazon, Adobe, Amex, Ensign, Macro, and Dev.to. Without your support, the MLH Fellowship would not be possible. Next, I want to thank our mentors, the people who are there every single day in the trenches, making sure that all the fellows had the expert resources that they needed to get unblocked or to help them think about their career in the long term. Our pod leaders, who are literally the boots on the ground, running everything from stand-ups to show and tells, retrospectives, organizing fun activities between the pods. Thank you for all of your hard work. And of course, our fellows, all of you who put in so much effort over the last 12 weeks. It's so clear to me and everyone else at Major League Hacking that you've leveled up a ton. We can't wait to see what you go on to do next. With that, let's take a closer look at one of the programs. Specifically, let's dig into the Explorer program, where fellows were building out their personal portfolios using all kinds of cool new technologies. Let's turn things over to Will to tell us a little bit about what they've been up to.
Thanks, Swift, for that introduction. Really do appreciate opening the graduation for everybody. Now, my name is Will, and I'm one of the program managers here at the Fellowship. The Explorer program is a really awesome opportunity for those who are just getting started in their careers to learn a bunch of new stuff that they maybe haven't interacted with before, such as, new technologies, new languages, and so on. And they get to build some really cool projects over the 12 weeks that they are with the Fellowship. It's really awesome to see these people go from zero to hero in such a short period of time, and I can't wait to see what they go and do after the Fellowship with all these new skills learned over the last little while. Now we're going to hear from a few of them. We're going to hear from one of our fellows as well as one of our Explorer pod leaders who will tell you all about the experience. Let's hear from one of our fellows.
I applied for the MLH Fellowship towards the end of my coding bootcamp. So my situation is probably a bit different from a lot of the students I got to interact with during the program. I do have a full-time job. I've been, a professional for the past 7 years, and I needed a change. So because I was already doing some bits of coding, I was learning coding on my own, doing a lot of web designing for my own projects. I used to have, people requesting me to help them with their own web designing. I realized this could be a career change that would make me really happy and comfortable. So towards the end of my bootcamp training, I found the MLH Fellowship link in a Slack community, and I thought this is my saving grace because with my full-time job I have a very busy schedule, and It's difficult to get an opportunity to do like a hands-on training, a type of internship that would give me opportunity to grow the skills I need to apply for a proper job. And I remember, initiating the interview process. It went really well until the technical interview. He was really tough. He was super tough. And I remember coming out of the technical interview, I was like, oh my God, I didn't get it. I failed. I really failed. And I called my mom. I was super sad. And I said, Mom, I didn't get it. I wasn't good enough. And I completely dropped the possibility of joining the MLH, at that point. And I was already thinking of a plan B, which I didn't have before. I was so important for me to join the MLH. So I think it was 3 weeks later, I heard back from the MLH saying that I was accepted in a program. And I was like, this is not even possible. I am over the moon. And I remember the overflow of positive emotions, coming through me, the goosebumps and all the expectations I had about the next 3 months that I was going to learn and build and collaborate with people and, get the confidence that I needed for the next step. It wasn't an easy road in my case, dealing with my job and my health. There was a lot going on, but I have to say, it was the most incredible experience I had. The MLH Fellowship represents to me a turning point. It's been as important as my coding bootcamp training. It gave me, opportunities to grow my skills, to grow my confidence, to learn how to code with other people, collaborate with other people, not on my own. And learning stuff that I didn't know before about, technical stuff that, my fellows were able to share with me. My pod leader, with his patience and knowledge, was able to also share with me. The stand-ups, the show and tell. I'm coming out of the fellowship, the Explorer Fellowship, with 3 amazing open source projects that can be real products in the real world today. I'm coming out of it, learning how to present projects in a much better fashion than before, feeling confident about the technologies I'm using, feeling confident about my skills as a software developer. I actually do feel more like a software developer today than I felt before. I am so very grateful for everything that the MLH Fellowship brought to me, everything I was able to, experience towards coming out of the end of these 3 months. And, I feel very, very blessed and lucky to get into this program. I do have a job already. I'm doing a career change. My goals are a little bit different. And the MLH Fellowship gave me the opportunity that I don't think I would have otherwise during this COVID situation, lockdowns and having a full-time job when there is no lockdown. So I have no words to say. Just thank you. Thank you so much for what you guys are creating. It's an amazing program. It has completely changed my life. It's been unforgettable and priceless. So guys, thank you so much. Will, Karan, my pod leader. It's been very precious to me to be accepted in the MLH Fellowship Explorer and take this as an experience that has completely changed now what's going to happen moving forward.
Hi there, congratulations on completing the fellowship. You have learned so many things over the past 12 weeks. You joined as a person who knew very limited technologies and had limited experience. But over the past weeks, you have experimented with a lot of stuff. Not only web development, not only app development, you worked with technologies which were so complicated and new to you, but still you took up the challenge and worked with them. This batch, I worked with 2 pods and 30 fellows, and I have seen the growth in each one of you. You have experimented with new things like NFTs, blockchains. These were the stuff that I believe that you assumed that you would never work with. But this fellowship and with the projects and the diverse variety of things that you worked on, you took the challenge and worked on those things. And I'm so happy to see you grow. You are a better developer now, and I can see that. The diverse projects and the type of code that you wrote is not just the only thing that you gained over the past 12 weeks. You were also collaborating with multiple fellows, multiple teammates, and that made you a better person. You worked with multiple people each sprint, you experimented with multiple technologies, and you built a project that is open source and would be used by future developers as well. The code readability, maintainability, and the improvements that you had in your code is significant, and I have observed that myself. These are the things that would help you forever. Whatever company, whatever project that you would work on in the future would reflect that. That would reflect how good experience you had throughout this fellowship, how many new things that you learned throughout the fellowship. And I'm so happy to see this growth in you. Not only the code, you also had nurtured the relationships. I still remember the fun activities and the show and tells were really, really fun, and everyone enjoyed that. I don't have a specific favorite part of the fellowship, but if I have to choose one, I would always pick show and tells. The reason behind why show and tell is my favorite is each week I saw you emerged as a leader. Each week a new person led a new session, explained the things that they knew to people who had no idea about that. And that made you a leader. That was something that brought the best out of you. I think that for that reason, show and tells are my favorite. Not only me, but all the fellows of your pod were looking forward to your session to learn something new. There were multiple sessions starting from Django to blockchain to how to prepare for technical interviews to GitHub actions and whatnot. The diverse topics and the diverse sessions that you led were so amazing that everyone enjoyed that. The fun activities that we had in the pod made us become more closer to each other as a pod, as the people of the fellowship. We were really enjoying that time, and that was so fun. I still remember the games that we played, like Scribble, guess the character, find items starting with a particular character. Those brought out the real person from you. In this pandemic, when everyone is online, you are not able to meet in person. In these times, games like these and talks like these are so important to have a healthy and impactful fellowship experience. And I think that that was something that we were able to accomplish, and I'm so happy that we enjoyed the experience as a whole. You don't need a piece of advice from me because you are already so much better now. You have built so many projects, you have contributed so many lines of code, and you have a lot of experience now. You are the people who are going to give advice to future developers, to people who are looking up to you, who are trying to get into the same place that you have passed through. So you are going to give advice to them, you are going to guide them, and I am looking forward to how you are going to nurture this experience and how you are going to share your experience with others. The only thing that I want to mention is I want you to continue contributing to open source projects. So the Explorer Fellowship is was all about exploring things. You explored multiple technologies, you worked with multiple things, you explored a lot. And all the projects that you built were open source, and you made that available to people, to other developers to access that. And I want you to keep continue and continue working and contributing to open source projects, because that is important. You have started an initiative, you have worked on projects, and I want you to take that forward and maintain those projects, keep adding the features. I know you were really enthusiastic and very excited about all of your projects, so don't leave that. Continue working on those projects, continue making issues there so that people can contribute, and your project could expand. So open source should not stop. Keep growing, keep working on those projects, and that's all that I want to say. Good luck for your future endeavors and for your future accomplishments. You would be achieving a lot of stuff from here on, and I wish you all the best and good luck for your journey.
That was really awesome to hear from Yashika about her experience as a pod leader for the Explorer program. But now I want to say a few words just to congratulate all of you for making such great progress over the last 12 weeks. Now, you've all done some awesome stuff. You've gone from building Minecraft mods to building your own games to building with technologies you've never even heard of before. That is incredibly impressive, and you should all be so proud of yourselves. I have no idea how you've done some of the stuff you've done in those 12 weeks. Every single time I am blown away by your creativity, passion, and dedication to the program. And you should take those traits and you should run with them for your career, because it will take you to so many incredible places. Some of my favorite projects are the ones where you've, created memes. You've used my face and you've created memes of me. Why? I don't understand entirely. But if that's what makes you happy, then that's what makes you happy. And I'm so happy that I get to be a part of that experience and help, create these fun memories for all of you that you'll be able to look back and go, that's how I got into programming, was making memes. Now, some of you will be going into our open source program that we'll hear about a little bit later, and if you do, we welcome you back, and we can't wait to see what you all get up to. And for those of you that are going on to do other things, we wish you the best, and we are always here with our arms open, welcome to help you if you need anything. Now, the Explorer program is a special place in my heart because it's one of our new programs that is very different to open source and the Externship. It's for those who don't have that experience, for those who need that guidance and that hand-holding to help them get to these incredible places. When I started out, I really needed help from my peers, my friends, and mentors. And having a program like this, if it existed when I was starting out in programming, would have been incredibly useful and beneficial. So being able to have this program and help shape it for those just getting started is so rewarding, because all of you have gone from being, okay at programming to superstars, like absolute superstars. And I don't want you to think I'm bigging you up. No, honestly, it is incredible to see the stuff that you have built. And you should take those, that love and that passion that you've got and continue using it going forward in your career. Now, that is all from me, folks. I can't wait to see what you all get up to. I'll be following on LinkedIn and other places like that to see what you all get up to. That was the Explorer program. Pretty awesome stuff from all of the folks involved there. But now it's time to hear from some of our open source fellows and pod leaders. Now, open source was actually one of the first programs that we ever did back in the summer of 2020. And this is a really cool opportunity because people get the first chance to contribute to open source. They've heard about it, they've used open source, but they've never been able to contribute back. And so to open an opportunity where they get to contribute to these really awesome projects, some of these really cool projects that people have just used loads and loads but would have no idea how to get started with. Being able to have the opportunity for them to start contributing to these massive projects is so rewarding for them, and it's awesome to see them go again from zero to hero over the course of 12 weeks. Now, let's hear from a few of our fellows, pod leaders, and program staff on their experiences and any final words that they have for all of you going into your careers.
In 2021, we joined together from around the world to start a journey in what will become one of the most transformative experiences in our early career life, the MLH Fellowship. Whether you're an Explorer, Externship, or an Open Source Fellow, let's take a moment to celebrate all the amazing things you have accomplished during these weeks. Together, we attended hackathons, worked with new technologies, learned from career sessions, and even cracked coding interviews. I was in the open source track. What makes this track special is that we learn to use our skills to solve real-world problems by contributing to open source projects that are used by people globally. Each fellow in this track selected either one or a few open source projects to work on. And as open source fellows, we had a whole spectrum of development, ranging from writing documentation, fixing bugs, to building out whole new features. Personally, I learned more about the real world of software development as an MLH open source fellow than I did in school because of all the hands-on experience and the mentorship that the program had. When I first started the open source track, I was actually quite scared because I never contributed to open source before. And I went out of my comfort zone even further by choosing an open source project called Kiwi TCMS, which focuses a lot on testing, and it also has a lot of backend. And those things were also something I wasn't familiar with, but I really wanted to learn. But by the end of the fellowship, it stopped being so scary because I learned many practical things, such as unit testing and writing more readable and efficient code. Thank you so much to Alex, who is Kiwi's project maintainer, and he was also my mentor, for all the patience and the constant feedback throughout the program, which really helped me become a better developer. As part of the MLH Fellowship, we also had the chance to do show and tells about something that inspires us and something that we want to share with others. My show and tell was on how to make projects more artistic with front end and design. And this show and tell, I actually really enjoyed it because together with my podmates, we actually started to brainstorm about how to make our personal websites more creative, and even ended up making a custom website for Debugs Bunny's pod. Another important highlight is, like many other fellows, I met an amazing group of really cool friends. This was something I didn't expect when I first started the program, but there were days when we sang songs on the guitar, shared stories about life, and even had times when we watched a movie on the weekend. During the hackathon weeks, there were days when we pair programmed for over 10 hours straight, which is kind of crazy if you think about it because of all the different time zones we were in. But because we had so much fun learning together, it flew by really, really quickly. Thank you so much to Mike Swift, Will Russell, and the whole MLH team for putting this fellowship together and giving us all this opportunity. Also, thank you to all the project maintainers, mentors on Ray staff, and of course, the pod leaders for your immense support, career advice, and guidance throughout this program. I personally want to thank Gabriel, who was my pod leader, and all the pod mates from Debugs Bunny's pod who made this fellowship unforgettable. Although we have finished this fellowship, we will look back on the memories we made here for years to come. You are all super talented and super inspiring. Continue to create, build, and explore your passions. Most importantly, stay in touch with the people that you met in this fellowship. What's waiting for us is a brighter future.
Hello and congratulations. I'm so glad that you have made it to the end of the fellowship. Everyone did a good job by contributing to different open source projects. The work that you did during the fellowship will help you when applying for jobs and make you stand out. For every batch, we receive tons of applications in which a very small amount of students are selected. For this batch, it was you. You competed against thousands of students from different parts of the world. You joined the program and you have successfully completed the 3 months of the fellowship and finally graduated. You should be proud of yourself. I'm sure you have all enjoyed the 3 months of the fellowship and made some good memories just like me. I had an amazing time with my fellows. I enjoyed every single meeting. There are a lot of good memories that I have made. My favorite one are those Friday nights where we used to play games after our stand-up meeting. At the end, I would say, even though this batch has come to an end, but that doesn't mean that you should stop contributing to the open source project. Keep contributing to the project just like you did during the fellowship, and keep supporting open source community. Happy hacking!
Hi everyone, this is Chris Ewald with the MLH Open Source Fellowship. I would like to give a big congratulations to all the graduating fellows. You did it. You made it through the MLH Fellowship. This is now the 3rd iteration of the Open Source Fellowship we have done. And I often go back to a phrase that Swift has liked to say throughout. We are building the bridge as we are walking over it. And now, well, it seems to me like part of this bridge is now built, or there is a good foundation supporting this bridge. This term, we saw a number of improvements to the schedule, and overall, everything felt very smooth and organized. We saw the introduction of the Raise.dev platform. It's been tremendously gratifying to see that this has been so well received and helpful. There are big improvements in the works, and I expect this to only get better as time goes on. We hope that all the fellows will continue to stay involved. And of course, most importantly, this bridge is being built by all the talented and hardworking people involved in the fellowship, who I would like to thank right now. To all the pod leaders, Thanks for your initiative. It's been great to see you all step into responsible leadership roles. The daily stand-ups, care, and organization have been huge. Big shout out to those pod leaders that went above and beyond to host additional workshops, video series, and the Capture the Flag exercise. To all the technical mentors at raise.dev, thank you for supporting all the fellows and having the technical chops to jump into new, unfamiliar projects and get up to speed really quickly. I really enjoyed helping newer programmers learn very practical skills, and I hope that you have enjoyed this as well. To all the fellows, thanks for your ambition and dedication to the fellowship. We set some high expectations here, and the vast majority of you met them with flying colors. We hope that the experience has been a rewarding one, and that you graduate from the fellowship a much more skilled developer with some great hands-on experience on complex projects and a great addition to your resume CV. Be sure to keep in touch with the friends that you have made here. I'm always excited to see what may come out of the huge potential of such a talented pool of aspiring programmers. Finally, I would especially like to thank all of the maintainers. Without your involvement and dedication to your projects in the world of open source, none of this would be possible. Fellows, why don't you shout out your maintainer in the chat right now? We really hope that working with the fellows was a rewarding experience and that you all received some significant pull requests and progress towards your projects. And fellows, if you want to do something kind for your maintainer to reciprocate for all the support they showed you over the fellowship, they would like nothing more than to have your continued involvement in the project. Why not continue to build upon this mutually supportive relationship that has started? You never know what may come of it. Once again, thanks so much for everyone involved in the fellowship, and congratulations.
Hello everyone. Congratulations to all of you for graduating today. I hope this fellowship is something you will definitely cherish. I have had the opportunity to interact with many of you this season, so thank you to all of you for reaching out to me. To see a happy smiling face at the end of the session, or to read the occasional shout-outs during your daily stand-up updates were the most fulfilling moments for me. Time management was a common topic during our discussions. The only difference was that some knew and acknowledged that they were in a time crisis, but others were shy or hesitated to admit this. As you start your career or the next step for yourself in life, this is one of the things you will have to unlearn and learn. Unlearn from saying yes to everything. Learn to say no and learn to prioritize the important. I know most of you plan to continue contributing to the projects that you have been working, which is a very nice way to give back to the open source community. But do not be guilty if you cannot keep up to these words. After the fellowship, you will have different commitments, and if at all you do not find the time to work on an open source project, then it's totally okay. Unlearn from being harsh on yourself. Do not fear failures. Learn your lessons and move on. Learn to stay happy and look after your well-being. Thank you raise.dev and MLH for this wonderful opportunity to be a mentor to these bunch of amazing fellows. Wish you all the best. Stay safe and healthy.
Now that was everyone from Open Source. Again, congratulations to all of you for doing such awesome stuff over the last 12 weeks. Now we're going to hear from our final program, the Externship, which is an awesome program where people get to work with some really cool companies all over the world, contributing to some of their internal projects and learning how to work in a team in kind of an internship style experience. I'm going to hand it over to Matt, who will tell you all about the Externship. We'll be able to hear from a few of the fellows, pod leaders, as well as program staff as well. Matt, take it away.
Everyone, my name is Matt and I am the current program manager for the Externship within the MLH Fellowship. Over the course of the last 3 months, we've been able to pair roughly 20 fellows across 8 different projects through the Externship, and I could not be more proud of the amazing work that all of you have done. Through our partnership with the National Security Innovation Network, most of these groups, 7 of the 8 to be exact, all partnered with a sponsor in the military to attempt to eliminate or improve a lot of the inefficiencies currently in the Department of Defense. From creating scripts which update and convert flight simulator data to mobile apps which make it much easier for servicemen and women to file work orders on base, and an additional macro project as well, All of the extern fellows have done a truly remarkable job, and their work will serve as a foundation in modernizing many of the antiquated aspects of both our military and the broader government. With that being said, we are now going to hear from one of the fellows, Jacob Kasner, and he's going to talk about his experience in the program.
Hey everyone, I'm Jacob Kasner, and I was one of the Externship Fellows during Batch 2. The fellowship was really just a great experience, from starting with the process of selection based upon a personal project rather than a lot more of the intangible ideas that sometimes we see in technical interviews, as well as starting off with an orientation hackathon to really get ourselves acclimated in. These kinds of things really made for a fun, welcoming environment, which is something I've seen really from the hacking community at large too. My particular program, the Externship, was focused upon partnering with the National Security Innovation Network, who in turn partners with Department of Defense groups to develop technical solutions to really help them progress in whatever they're currently facing challenges with. In my particular experience, we were partnered up with the U.S. Air Force to help them work with two different types of simulators that they were using and translating the data between the two. And we built a command line tool with Python to solve that particular issue. The externship at large, though, is just really about the fact that the military, in many cases, is working with older technology and older ideas. And when, the NSIN motto really is, what if when people said it's always been done that way, we left it like that? And that's really what I was happy to be able to contribute to bring fresh ideas to these old problems, and really to contribute as a civilian developer. Things that I particularly achieved, I myself am really just budding as a developer, having started only in March of last year, but I felt that I could really grow my Python skills throughout this experience, and specifically in the sense of writing efficient and easy to understand code. I was only able to achieve what I could through the help of my partner for the project, Gideon Tong, and the ability to write the code efficiently with an idea of like using a lookup table, and also using type hinting and doc strings all throughout the code, just to make sure that as we wrap it up, if it is ever continued or picked up on in the future, any developers can easily understand where we were and keep going at full speed. I really have enjoyed the developer community, and the way that I truly feel about the way that we all interact and build is that the limits don't really exist. We can build anything, and therefore we should all be working towards building something useful. So congratulations to everyone for taking this time, whether you were in the externship like me, open source, or Explorer, for committing yourself to developing something useful with the talents that we all possess. And I look forward to continuing to do so with all of you as our paths may intersect in the future in the developer world. Happy hacking!
Hi everyone, my name is Libby Tafira, and I am one of the GBMs for Pod 2.20 for the one and only Ambitious Airbenders. These past couple of months, I had the great privilege to be working as a GBM and witnessing you all working on your projects, and seeing how you all could dive into your projects, and seeing where you guys have started and seeing how you guys are ending. And it's really cool to witness that as a GBM, and also seeing how I could work alongside with you guys, and seeing how I could work alongside with my team. Highlight as a GBM would probably be seeing you all working together in terms of like how you guys start off with your project, and also how you guys finish with your project, and also how you guys face these barriers and understanding what these barriers are. And I think that's really cool to witness that, and also to see how you guys have all grown in your presentation skills and your hard skills, and also learning how to work with your fellows. And as a GBM, it's really cool to see that. This could have not been possible without Matt and all the other GBMs. And a great shout out to my team, Victoria and Anish. You guys did a wonderful job these past couple of months, and I'm really proud of you all. With that being said, good luck with everything. Best in your career and your endeavors. I know you all will succeed.
So now I'm going to get a bit more into the nuts and bolts of the program. First off, I want to highlight that although working remote has its challenges, everyone did a fantastic job of making the most of the situation. The ability of our sponsors, group project managers, and most importantly the fellows to adapt to this changing landscape has been truly commendable, and I for one thought it was great to be working with people across the country and globe, something we would not have been able to do otherwise if not for the present circumstances. Of course, this entire program and batch could not have been possible without the group project managers, so I'd like to extend a huge thanks because without them, this program would certainly not be what it is today. Michael Huang, Libby Tefera, and Soren Gupta have all been an integral part of this program, helping to manage the day-to-day communications and project details between our problem sponsors and fellows. So thank you for all of your time and dedication. Building off of that, the externship simply would not be possible without the problem sponsors themselves. Their hard work and innovation allowed us to pair our fellows with interesting and groundbreaking projects, so I cannot thank them enough for their cooperation and involvement in providing these opportunities for you all. And finally, I'd also like to thank the National Security Innovation Network and Macro, who in addition to providing funding, have also been amazing partners in giving our fellows incredible opportunities to build really cool projects and learn a ton of practical skills along the way. Speaking to all of the extern fellows now, it has been an awesome experience to see all of your progress week by week. Your final projects were absolutely amazing, and I think I speak for everyone who's seen your work when I say that you guys could not have done a better job. The way that you tackle problems and work together was inspiring, and I truly could not be more proud of all that you have accomplished. While I only got to see most of you once a week, I love getting to know you all better, and although I know it can be hard to become acquainted over Zoom calls, I really appreciate the effort that each and every one of you put into it. I just want to reiterate that it has been truly a pleasure working with you all, and I do believe we were able to accomplish some incredible things together over the course of these last few months. Whether you plan on returning to the fellowship or moving on to jobs in the real world, I wish you all the best and want you to know that if you ever need anything, you know how to get in touch with me. It's been an awesome couple of months, and truly I'm very glad to have gotten to know all of you as well as I have. So best of luck with your future endeavors, and I hope you all have a great rest of the year.
Hi everyone, I'm John Gottfried, one of the co-founders of Major League Hacking, and I am so excited to be here with you for the fellowship graduation today. In this section, you're going to hear from some of our fantastic partners for the MLH Fellowship. These companies have devoted financial resources, engineering resources, mentorship resources, and career resources to make your experience as amazing as humanly possible. I know many of you have been working alongside their engineers, contributing to really cool open source and closed source projects around the world, and learning a ton about how to be a fantastic developer. We hope that you'll really enjoy hearing from them and that they made your experience really special.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis Smith and I lead developer partnerships here at the Dfinity Foundation. On behalf of the entire Dfinity team, we just wanted to say congratulations on graduating from the MLH Fellowship Program. We've really enjoyed supporting you along the way, starting with the workshops where we introduced you to the internet computer and some of our developer resources. We've also had the pleasure of meeting many of you in our weekly office hour blocks, where we've helped you debug and ideate on your projects. And finally, some of you were able to join a session with our leadership team where you were able to provide really valuable feedback on your developer experience. And I hope you know that that feedback is being incorporated into our product roadmap and that we take it really seriously. It's a top priority for us here at Dfinity to support the next generation of developers and entrepreneurs like yourselves as you go forth and build new innovative apps and services on the open internet. We really commend your bravery and your curiosity in just diving right into a new software engineering paradigm like the internet computer. We know it can be really intimidating to learn a new programming language like Motoko or to grasp concepts in blockchain and decentralization. and we've just been totally blown away by some of the projects that we've seen. It's my hope that years and years from now, some of you will look back and say, oh my gosh, I was one of the first developers to deploy a canister to the internet computer. And we hope that you see this graduation not as the end, but just the beginning of our relationship. We hope that if you've started a project, you continue to iterate and work with us. And maybe if you haven't started a project yet, you'll consider the internet computer for your next idea. Thanks so much, everyone. And again, congratulations on this achievement.
Hi, MLH Fellowship grads. My name is Cami Williams, and I'm a developer advocate on the open source team. Just wanted to take a couple minutes to say how grateful we are for your contributions to the Facebook open source ecosystem and community. At Facebook, our mission is to empower the community and bring the world closer together, and open source directly contributes to that. We believe fundamentally that our open source offering is made better by the community and strive towards community-first development. Through our partnership with the MLH Fellowship, we prioritize the relationship building with our core maintainers and the community, that's you, and amplify your integral contributions to our projects. Our teams are really impressed with the dedication and hard work you put into your contributions these past few months. Through your contributions, our products are made better, not just due to the code you contribute, but from the different and diverse perspectives you offer. We'd like to give a special shout out to Lisa, Stephen, and Samuel, who worked on Docusaurus, Sartik, Seydulim Khan, and Grace, who worked on Paisa, Anand and Grace, who worked on Vissel, Jitian and Soham, who worked on WebXR, and Scott and Buyan, who worked on Crypt 10. This is just the beginning for all of you. We're excited to see what more you all do in the open source community and tech industry. Personally, I'm excited to maintain relationships with you all and work together to innovate and open source further. Congratulations again on your graduation from the spring 2021 season of the MLH Fellowship. Facebook thanks you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back to finish out this MLH Fellowship graduation ceremony. As I mentioned earlier, I'm John Gottfried, one of the co-founders of Major League Hacking. I live here in New York City, and I actually have a history degree. I'm a self-taught coder, like many of you. And my most popular GitHub repo that I spent the most time on only has 30 stars. So many of you have been doing work used by far more developers, even though you're a little bit earlier in their careers. So you should be really proud of yourselves for that. Again, I want to thank all of the partners who have made the MLH Fellowship possible. We could not have done it without them. And we hope you had fantastic experiences working alongside many of their engineers and open source maintainers. So to start off with, many of you probably know what MLH is, but it's a little bit broader than the fellowship. We are the global student developer community. We work with hundreds of thousands of developers just like you to help you learn skills and build your careers and build your networks so that you can go off and have a really meaningful impact on the technology world. Now, part of the reason I helped start MLH with Swift is because when I was a kid, when I was learning technology, nothing like this existed. In fact, the internet itself was a very different place. Obviously this is kind of a joke, like surfing the web, literally. But I had dial-up growing up. The games I played were text-based; they had no graphics, and I learned by experimenting and trying to make cool things happen. But the scale of things was much, much smaller. And watching all of you do the work that you've done over the past 12 weeks and work on some of these truly impressive open source projects really blew my mind. These projects are used by millions of developers around the world. Think about that for a second. You all have come in with varying levels of experience from all over the world to come together and work on code that's used by millions of people out there. That is truly impressive, and you should be really proud of yourselves. I use many of these projects myself, and I am in awe of all of the work that you've done. In addition to contributing to really fantastic open source projects, you've all created a lot of really great technology as well. In the Explorer track and the Tour of Duty Fellowship, we've seen some amazing ideas come to life for the first time ever. No one had ever worked on these before, and seeing the output that someone could come up with in a week or 2 weeks was really amazing. And I am so proud of all of the work that you've done. But beyond the really compelling stories of all of the great work that you've done, there's some really big numbers too. Uh, Collectively, you've all submitted about 1,800 pull requests over the last 12 weeks. That's wild. That is a ton of code being submitted. And obviously, a pull request is not the only measure of developers' productivity, but that number is truly awe-inspiring. And not only did you submit a ton of pull requests, many of you drastically increased the amount of code you were writing. This graph shows number of pull requests by fellow in the months leading up and then immediately upon starting the fellowship. And we saw about a 530% increase in the number of pull requests each of you is doing. That is truly impressive. And not only that, but 80% of them got merged in. So you should definitely give yourselves a round of applause. Your work is making a big impact. But being a developer and doing the open source work and closed source work that y'all have been doing is not just about lines of code or pull requests or stars or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you're designing something for human beings. Whether those human beings are developers utilizing your code or end users making use of the solutions you've created, the internet is made up of a lot of different people out there. And, the code that you've written, it impacts their lives in a really big way, right? It's not just going off in some void and passing your tests. The code has a real meaningful day-to-day impact on people's lives. And when I think about programming and what's so compelling about it to me and many of the people I know, it's this idea that code is this artistic pursuit, right? It's not a purely mathematical or logical thing. A very famous computer scientist, Donald Knuth, said that the best programs are written so that computing machines can perform them quickly and so human beings can understand them clearly, right? A programmer is an essayist. You're working with literary concepts and creative concepts, not just math. And it's really important to keep that in mind because computers impact every facet of our lives today. And your code directly translates to how people live, how people see each other, and really what people are capable of doing in the world today. And so I really encourage you all to keep that in mind and take into account these three, kind of mantras that I think a lot of developers should live by. First is to be an empathetic programmer, right? Keep your fellow developers in mind when you're creating APIs or tools. Keep the end user in mind when you're building for them. Code is not just a job. It's not just a mathematical pursuit. It's something that people get a lot of personal value out of and put a lot of value on. And so I encourage you to be empathetic towards your users and your fellow developers. The next thing is that I would encourage you all to create work that truly inspires you. Starting MLH was something that I did with Swift out of passion and, our own inspiration that we wanted this to exist. But all of the work that you're doing should be personal to you, right? It should be something you care about, something that's meaningful to you, something that gets you excited to wake up and work on every day. And luckily you all have this fantastic skill that allows you to go out and really pick and choose what you get to work on. But try to stay inspired, right? Try to put your skills to good use that you find personally fulfilling. And of course, lastly, understand your potential. I talked about a lot of stats earlier in the presentation about how fast you all ramped up and how successful you were writing great code used by millions of people. Many of you probably would not have thought yourselves capable of that before the fellowship started. And I, for one, am so proud of the work that you've done. And I think that you all should be proud of yourselves too, because you've accomplished a lot of really, truly impressive things that, really experienced engineers are looking at and saying, wow, like this is useful to me. This is meaningful to me. And, you need to understand that you're all capable of that and much, much more. I want to thank you all for participating in the fellowship for these last 12 weeks. I truly hope you'll go out there and mentor other developers, be part of the MLH community, and create some truly amazing technology in your careers. And have an amazing time and happy hacking. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you everyone who came together to make this graduation ceremony possible. It's clear to me that these fellows have so much to be proud of, and that there's a huge community who've been supporting them every step of the way along that journey and will keep supporting them as alumni of this program. We can't wait to see what they all go on to accomplish. It's going to be amazing to see how they change the world with the skills they learned here at the MLH Fellowship. Before we wrap up, one more time, I just want to thank all of the people who made this program possible. First off, our sponsors, Facebook, GitHub, Amazon, Adobe, Amex, Ensign, Macro, and Dev.to. Without your support, the MLH Fellowship would not be possible. Our mentors, who are there as technical experts supporting our fellows through the journey of learning to become software engineers. To our pod leaders, our boots on the ground, making sure the fellows were supported every day during the program. To our maintainers, who brought amazing projects for our fellows to contribute to, where they learned real-world production software engineering skills. And of course, to all of the fellows who built an amazing community, who accomplished so much in the last 12 weeks, who are now officially alumni of the MLH Fellowship. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to our fellows. We can't wait to see what you go on to do from here. We hope you'll join us in a few weeks for the kickoff of Batch 3 of the MLH Fellowship, which is going on this summer. Thank you, everybody, and happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking! Happy hacking!
Happy hacking, everybody.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking! Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking! Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Hey MLH, happy hacking!
Happy hacking! Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!
Happy hacking.
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 Happy hacking!
Happy hacking!